Welcome to Winning Wall Street's Money. Please take this moment now with helping me. Click here, subscribe. Next, click this bell. Next, ensure to click all. This helps you receive a notification when I posted my next videos. Next, click this thumbs up button after every time you watch my video. This pushes it up in the engagement ratings and means it will be suggested to more people, therefore is likely to get more views to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. I also have a Patreon page. Click show more. Scroll down. This link here, my Patreon, click on it. Select the membership. With this membership, you'll get access to all this information. Very good content. It's Saturday, March 27th, 2:13 p.m. New York time. Some of this information is going to be very useful for beginners, moderate traders. First, we're going to look at the equity indexes. The equity indexes, most followed equity index is the S&P 500. The cash stock symbol is Sierra Papa X-ray. For you civilians, SPX. Excuse me. The S&P 500 is the largest companies in value, and the institution and retail traders typically want to outperform it or at least equal performing it. Each of these candles is a week. Since it's Saturday, they are done. Last week, we hit the all-time high in the S&P 500. This week, we did not. We made a lower low. Let's look at the longer duration. Longer duration. Over 3 years. Just shy of the all-time high, again, since last week. The Nasdaq 100, the 100 largest technology companies in the Nasdaq 100. Here we are this week, made a lower low, lower high. And last week, we're not even at the all-time high of this year. It's performing weaker than the S&P 500. Past 3 years. So you see something here? Let's go back to the S&P 500. S&P 500, see these gray boxes, consolidation areas, staircase pattern, higher high. Let's just look at this year. Consolidation, breakout to the upside, consolidation, breakout to the upside. With the Nasdaq 100. Started off this year doing that, and now doing the inverse. So the Nasdaq 100, the large technology companies, has not leadership. Not right now, it's not. Hasn't been for the last few weeks. Smart money has been exiting that for many weeks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, just shy of its all-time high from last week. Let's look at the longer duration. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, much more of a diversified index. It's very diversified, I would say, compared to the Nasdaq 100. Because it's not just technology, it's also blue chips. Well, you can see also the past 3 years. And this year, staircase pattern, higher high. So you have these two indexes, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, outperforming the Nasdaq 100. That means the Nasdaq 100 is not leadership right now. Let's go on to the next. The Russell 2000. Small caps. Yep. Made a lower low, lower high. Let's look at the longer duration, 3 years. It's near the high of the last 3 years. And it's back inside this consolidation. So bigger picture, it's consolidation. The Dow Transport's all-time high for this year, outstanding. Let's look at the longer term. Consolidation, staircase pattern, higher high. So that's a super strong sector. Index. The Dow Transport's all-time high. And the Dow Utilities, look at that. Here's the all-time high for the year. It's getting higher. Let's look at the last 3 years. Yep. So we have not taken out the high of this year yet, which is here, nor we haven't taken out the high of last year. And when we look at them all, let's just zoom in again. for year to date. Year to date. The leadership is right there, the Dow Transports. All-time high for the year, where all these other ones are either just shy of all-time high or trending away, down, bearish, away from its all-time high. Not good leadership. Got it? Let's go on to the S&P 500 sectors. And just again, note here, the Nasdaq 100, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Dow Transports, Dow Utilities. These four indexes are inside the S&P 500, where the Russell 2000 is its own index. Okay. Now we'll look at the S&P 500 sectors. In the S&P 500, there's 11 sectors. Let's try to find leadership. Who's the best? Start off looking at year to date. XLK, it's not leadership. Let's look at the past 3 years. Similar to the Nasdaq, look at that. Staircase pattern higher high, and now staircase pattern down. Okay, the XLK, it's technology sector. It makes up 20+% of the S&P 500. Not a surprise, it's not leadership. XLV, it's in a big consolidation. Yeah, that's the healthcare sector. It's almost 15% of the S&P 500. It's a big tight consolidation there. So that was a nice bullish pin bar right there to have taken that trade if you were using the weekly time frame. XOF financials. Yep, it's hot. Staircase pattern higher high. I showed you that in my beginners video for like the past 5 videos in the beginner's guide, that the financials has been the hottest sector pretty much for the year to date. Strong like bull. XLY, not leadership. It's in a consolidation. Struggling. XLC. Look at that huge sell-off. Small trading range that prior week. On top, private smart money distribution, and huge sell-off now. Yeah. That's communication services. Makes up almost 10% of the S&P 500. Interesting. Yeah, see this? Again, huge sell-off. XLI, industrials, makes up almost 10%. Shy of the all-time high this year. Staircase pattern higher high. Leadership. Strong leadership. XLP, all-time new high for this year. Outstanding. XLP, consumer staples, makes up 6.7% of the S&P 500. Took out the high of last year and all-time high this year. Wow, strong like bull. XLE, yep. It's an acceleration pattern up here, just shy of the all-time high. Let's look at the 3 years. We didn't take out the high of last year yet. Nope. Again, that makes up 6% in the S&P 500. XLU, that's the utility sector, makes up 2.8%. So here's the high of last year. We're not there. We're in a range from high this year or last year, struggling. XLRE, all-time new high for this year, outstanding. Let's see how it's doing for the past 3 years. It has not taken out the high of last year yet. Interesting. This is the real estate too. Real estate sector. And XLB, materials, took out the high of last week, outstanding. Outstanding. An all-time high as well too, outstanding. So huge reversal has been going on for weeks. I've been mentioning in my videos. The technology sector has been, smart money has been leaving it, and they've been rotating different sectors. Wow. Have you heard of Faang? Foxtrot Alpha Alpha November Golf. It originated was FANG, then they upgraded it, or Faang Plus now. What it is, Faang is an acronym referring to stocks of the most popular and best performing American companies that are technology companies. Yeah, they're also the heavily weighted average in the big indexes. So let's look at them. Again, remember the key word, most for technology. We saw what technology sector is doing. It's bearish. So here's the high for Apple for this year, and here we are down here. It's not leadership. Let's look at it over 3 years. It's struggling, just like the Nasdaq. It's even performing worse than the Nasdaq, I think. Microsoft. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. It's an consolidation, still holding its own. Better than Apple. Amazon. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. It's struggling. Yep. It hasn't defined a good trend here, even on this higher time frame. And it hasn't been up to the all-time highs, which for last year, nor this year. It's struggling. What goes up must come down, the saying says. Facebook. Wow. What a turnaround since last year. Yep. The high of last year is there. We have not taken that out yet, but it's getting back up there. Huge consolidation phase right there between the 300 and 250. That's not leadership. It's just a big consolidation. There are other ones that have been trending higher. And Google. We have not taken out the all-time high of this year yet. What a consolidation. Looks like smart money selling it still. It might see another further sell-off. Interesting. And Tesla. Yep, here's the high for the year. Way off its highs. Been down distribution. And it's still bearish. Likely go lower. Not leadership. November Victor Delta Alpha. It's struggling. Here's the high for the year. Here's for the low year. Yeah, not good. Back inside the range from last year. Netflix. Here's the high for the year, the low for the year. Underperforming. Not leadership. Struggling. Bravo Alpha also in decline. Near the low of the year. Not good. The high of last year, we have not retested it. The high of this year, we have not retested it. It's in decline. It's in decline. Again, look at it here on the equity indexes. We may have a bounce coming in because been oversold in some things. Excuse me. So again, as this goes further up, the Dow Transports, the Dow Utilities, and the Dow Industrial, it would push the S&P 500 higher if the Nasdaq doesn't further roll off or roll down, or if the Nasdaq was to pop up a little bit, which may pop up, and if these other ones still go up, again, we can see it further higher, prices up the S&P 500. So use caution because the bounce may not have much follow through. Let's look at something in the technology companies, communications. Again, technology is not the strongest right now. Jupiter Network, semiconductors, communication equipment struggling, not at the all-time high. Cisco made an all-time new high. There's leadership. Wow, outperforming the stock index of Nasdaq. Charlie Alpha Lima X-Ray. Nope, it rolled over. Ericsson struggling. Nokia struggling. And INSG struggling. Let's look at some semiconductors. Here's Intel, high for the year, but it hasn't taken out the high of last year. We already spoke about that one. NVDA. ASML, all-time high for the year, outstanding. Broadcom, wow. Texas Instruments, all-time high for the year. So some of them are outstanding for their own index. Let's look at computer hardware. Logitech, it's struggling. Hewlett Packard, wow, all-time high for this year, outstanding, and taken out last year. That's leadership. Dell Computer, just shy of all-time high. Yep. Western Digital, struggling. Okay. We'll finish it off right here on just some stocks, software infrastructure. Oracle, Already did Microsoft and BlackBerry.